Soft skills are broader attributes: leadership, communication, time management. If you don't have a ton of the things necessary for a specific job, but your soft skills are really high, you can really exemplify your leadership, you can really exemplify how you're organized, a lot of employers will look at you and say, I can work with that. I can teach this person. That's how you get hired.
This is the Work and Sports Podcast.
All right, I had to read this great question that came in from Jamil in Illinois. You guys can all email me. Everybody can reach out. bclapp@workandsports.com. Hit me up on LinkedIn. DM us on Twitter @workandsports. We want to answer your questions. That's what we do on our Monday show. Jamil messaged this week. It was an awesome question, so we're going to dive right into it. Jamil writes,
Hey Brian, I'm a college junior and a big fan of the show. I've been listening since my freshman year and have learned a ton from you. I'm a true super user, subscribed on YouTube, download every podcast episode, follow every social media channel, and I'm a member of workandsports.com. You're my guy. I've got a question for you. My professors keep talking about showing off your soft skills, but I'm not sure I know how to do that. Can you explain? I feel like you explain things better than some of my professors.
Jamil, I'm humbled. I read your question this week and was really touched. It hit me in a special spot because I tell you the reason we do this show is to make an impact like that, is to explain things in the easiest way for you all to be actionable with the advice, for you to do something with it, for you to understand it to that depth, to be like, oh, I get it now. Let's get after it. We want to help you and others. And thank you for acknowledging, supporting that. So you're my guy too, Jamil. So please keep sending in more questions because this is a really good one. And I'm going to give you my absolute best and insight on this because you deserve it. Everybody does. But I mean, Jamil, you're really nice, so I'm going to give you special treatment. Okay, so let's first define hard skills and soft skills just so we keep everybody along for this ride. Make sure everybody's on the same page here. Won't spend a lot of time with it. I've talked about it before, but just to be super clear, when we say hard skills, we're talking about the technical capabilities that you have. For example, Photoshop, Excel, Google Analytics, certain marketing software, project management experience, social media tools. Those are the skills that allow you to do specific functions of your role, okay? Soft skills are broader attributes: leadership, communication, time management, organization, collaboration, teamwork, critical thinking. Soft skills influence how you do your work and your upside and value. Because to me, if you have really high soft skills, that can overcome a lack of hard skills. So let me spell it out for you. If you don't have a ton of the things necessary for a specific job, but your soft skills are really high, you can really exemplify your leadership, you can really exemplify how you're organized, collaborative, all these other things that are in demand from a soft skills perspective, a lot of employers will look at you and say, I can work with that. I can teach this person. They're worthy of me training them because I think they have the upside, the emotional intelligence, the ability to really grow and then learn the hard skills to go along with it. So your soft skills can overcome a deficiency in hard skills. And that's really important to remember. So got to get after these things and make sure that they are displayed in your portfolios and every opportunity you have to explain that you have the soft skills to work with the hard skills. So let's get into how. Start with a job description. When you're early in your college career or you're discovering who you want to be in the industry, I tell you and advise you all the time to look at job descriptions to figure out the hard skills that are necessary and that the market wants for this job. So if you're looking at a bunch of social media coordinator jobs and it says Photoshop, Jira, email marketing, blah, 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 all these different skills that it wants, you know you need to learn those things to fit the marketplace demand. Now you need to do the same thing with soft skills. And this comes a little later, right? When you're actually ready to apply for jobs and you're actually getting ready to hit the marketplace, look at the job description that you're going to apply for and look for those terms that stand out from a soft skills perspective. So these are 2 bullet points I pulled just within the last 5 minutes from an actual job on workandsports.com, the leading job board for the sports industry, if you didn't already know that. So we have thousands and thousands of jobs out there. I picked a couple and just pulled out a couple examples to give to you. Bullet point for a job under the requirements section: effective communicator and collaborator, extremely organized and detail-oriented. Those are soft skills. They are telling you in this job what they want. There were other hard skills listed. You want to make sure those are mentioned on your resume and your cover letter, etc. But those are the soft skills that they've said are important to them. So now you know that about this particular job. They're telling you what they want. Make sure you customize your materials to fit what their wants are. This is why I always stress to you, you have to have multiple versions of your resume and you have to customize it for every application because it is subjective and everybody's going to have different wants and needs. So now, what about your resume? You heard them say they were looking for someone who's an effective communicator and collaborator. So how do you get that across on your resume? You did an internship. I'm making up a scenario now, but just so you can see how this could work. You did an internship with your college athletic department. And during it, you worked as part of a small team that ran a fundraiser. So now your bullet point or points for that experience could say something like, collaborated with 2 co-planners to plan and execute a sports-themed fashion show with 10 volunteers that raised $8,000 for the local food bank. Second bullet point, led external communication plan for the fundraising event, including press releases, media inquiries, email marketing, and social media campaigns. My point is, in that, your bullet point now underneath that the athletic department that you worked for is specifying something specific you did that enhanced and showed collaboration. And matter of fact, you used their word, collaborated with 2 co-planners to plan and execute a sports-themed fashion show with 10 volunteers. So now you're giving a little bit of data to it. That raised $8,000 for the local food bank. So now you've not only said what you did, but also what it resulted in. You've helped tell a story of, I collaborated and I've leveraged in some of these hard skills that I had to do as well. Then your second bullet point that follows it up goes one step further, still based on that one event that you did, that you led the external communication plan, including press releases, media inquiries, email marketing, and social media campaigns. So now the 2 skills that they were looking for, we want somebody that's a collaborator and effective communicator. You have hit both those things. And you married your hard skills with your soft skills. In 39 words and 2 bullet points, you were able to tell an employer that you are collaborative, communicative, organized successful fundraisers, wrote press releases, handled media inquiries, and developed email and social media campaigns. 2 bullet points, 39 words. That's the kind of thing that makes you unstoppable. It wasn't just any soft skill. It was the legit soft skills they said they wanted because you took the time to research the job description and make sure your resume and your bullet points and all the data points in there aligned with their needs. That's effort, but that's how you get hired. So now, what about your cover letter? Where can we go with that? How do you get that soft skills story even deeper? This is your chance to elaborate and tell a story. As I've told you all many times before, your cover letter is not a paragraph version of your resume. This is your chance to go beyond into something else. Tell me something else. Maybe you can talk about your communication plan. Maybe you can talk about how you worked with the volunteers, had to get them upskilled. You can go deeper though. Okay, so get into telling me a story. I fully believe that if you're lacking in related hard skills, your cover letter becomes all the more important to emphasize your soft skills, which gets to a question of potential. If I see that you've got these great stories you're telling, great story you're sharing in your cover letter, I may see potential in you, even if you don't have those perfectly aligned hard skills. So I'll give a couple examples. Let's say you've had to pay your way through college. You had to work 40 hours a week to pay for college, and you didn't get to do internships. So your experience may lack somebody else's. Or let's say you were a student athlete and you had to train all year long and you didn't have an opportunity to get as many internships or volunteer opportunities. So maybe you don't have as many hard skills. Okay. Tell me a story about how you created a study group amongst your fellow student athletes to support our collective learning and growth. I mean, you had to actually do these things, but that should be the kind of thing you're looking to do so that you can show leadership. You can show that you're proactive. If you're not doing these things, well, you can't elaborate it. But maybe you're not going to get hired either. So maybe you need to be doing these things so that you can then brag about them in a cover letter. Or, if you get that regular job I was talking about, tell me about how you identified a workflow inefficiency and made a suggestion to your manager that impacted how business flowed. Or you noticed people were showing up late to work because they didn't know their schedule. It was just posted in the back room on a piece of paper. So you created a group text chain where information could be shared, or a little app where people could go to and discover what their schedule was in a more effective manner. These things don't scream out sports industry experience, come hire me, but they do scream out, I've got potential. I'm proactive. I see problems that I can identify and fix. And I've got these soft skills that will set me up with a high ceiling where I can take on and learn anything. That's the story you need to tell about yourself. I will tell you, because I get asked this a lot, Brian, what are your most important soft skills? I always lean towards people that are competitive, coachable, and curious. It is ironic that they all start with C. That was not planned, but it does kind of roll off your tongue. Why? Why do these things matter to me? I think it's the sports industry and you do want to compete. I think that's a certain part of our attitude here is that it's not that you want to beat everyone you work with. It's that you want to beat the competition. You want to be better than everybody else. You're driven to be the best because that's really important in our industry. I like people that are curious, that want to learn, that get excited about the opportunity to try something new, that are really interested in always pushing a little bit further and looking and seeing and absorbing information, asking good questions. Those are the people I like to be surrounded by because they push me to be better as well. And then the last one, being coachable, is somebody that is open and willing to learn and grow, that doesn't think they know it all, that is willing to be taught. I always lean on the Tim Duncan story. Tim Duncan, Greg Popovich will say about Tim Duncan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, that he wanted to be coached. He wanted to be pushed. He wanted to learn more about why he was doing certain things, about why the offense was structured in a certain way. That coachability, that desire to always be that little bit better ties into curious and competitive. That's why I love those three. But soft skills are subjective. And what I mean is, let's say you submitted your resume to 10 different people. One person may love it, one person may hate it because they're human beings and they're different. You put your own personal filters on things. Somebody else you may ask, what are your favorite 3 soft skills? And they might give you a completely different list. Oh, leadership, organization, and communication. That's them. That's what they look for. So now, again, you weave all those things together. If you've got the hard skills, you marry them with the soft skills. You know what this organization wants because they say it in their job description, and your whole persona comes through. All of you comes through and tells an employer what you can accomplish on this job. Marry those things together, you become unstoppable. Jamil, I hope that helps. I hope that helped everybody because it's an important concept. Thanks for listening, everyone. Please continue to rate, review, and subscribe. We're growing. Things are going great. A lot of people are listening. People want to be guests on the show. Fans are writing in questions. We want you to continue to be a part of it. So rate, review, subscribe. It helps us keep that upward channel. All right. I'll see you all on Wednesday.